So as we know, ladies and gentlemen, we are, getting closer and closer to the midterm election. We see many of the Democrat shills are losing their minds because a lot of you are not following the playbook as you should. The Democrat shill's job is to get you to come out there and vote for the Democrat Party. They don't promise anything. It's not like they're fighting for us as a community to get anything tangible that we need, and our issues are numerous. But they're on every agenda that the DNC is on. Just recently, even Boulay Martin has come out saying that, America needs immigrants and, he's a big push of immigration. But we know that, unchecked immigration hurts Black American jobs. We know that. It brings down wages because you got to remember some of these people, that's coming here, they'll be lucky to make $100 a month. They come over here and hey, they hit the jackpot. So a $7.25 an hour job, or a lot of times they misuse those people and pay them lower than what they should be paid. They do them dirty because they don't have certain protections by the federal government. And it's the same thing like they did with Black people, just try to misuse and abuse. Of course, I wouldn't compare it to, chattel slavery with our ancestors, but it's still the same spirit, the same people misuse somebody in a messed up situation. But when you look at people like Al Sharpton and the gang, and I tell people, I can't take a guy like Al Sharpton seriously. I never really took Al Sharpton seriously because any guy he got his hair looking like, a pimp somewhere, I can't trust you. Sorry, I just can't because, are you looking in the mirror? And Al Sharpton is definitely a senior citizen and he's still with that hair, still with it, even to this day. Well, he made some interesting comments. We got a Georgia election coming up with Stacey Abrams and Governor Kemp. And I want you to hear what Al Sharpton says about Black men, because let me tell you what the play is right now. They're setting it up for when they lose, they're going to blame Black men. That's who they're going to blame. They're going to blame Black men. But Black men, let me tell you something. What else is new? We are the default setting for blame in America and actually throughout the world. Something wrong, blame Black American men. Global warming, Black American men did that. The economy, Black American men did that. Anything wrong, just blame Black American men. So we're so numb to it at this point, just like you remember the 2016 election, how now they didn't tell all the people like Boulay Martin, the rest of them was raging about 2016, but yet they didn't want to tell the truth about, and it was on national TV, how they, half of the electorate wanted Bernie Sanders. They didn't want Hillary Clinton. And when they did their little dirt to get Hillary Clinton to be the nominee, half of the party say, I ain't voting for that woman. And that's why Trump became the president of the United States. But they don't ever talk about that. All they're talking about is what Black people didn't do and what Black men in particular didn't do. So what they're not liking about Black American men right now, Black American men is having a paradigm shift, and it's a beautiful thing. Black American men say, I'm past the point of you shaming me on every level. If I'm not getting something out of it, I just don't want nothing to do with it. Sorry. You can't tell me about no plantation that these so-called Republicans going to put me on. Because we just had a Republican president, and now one of y'all that's talking about this Jim Crow and plantation. It was not no Jim Crow. It was not no plantation during the last Republican president. So y'all need to stop lying and stop fear-mongering people who I guess just don't think very well, because you act like we didn't have a Republican president for freaking 4 years prior to this one. And nobody was on a freaking plantation. It's just amazing, and then you look at it, and y'all have to understand, there's a lot of Black people that their checks is tied to getting you to the polls to vote Democrat, not just inspiring you to register to vote and just say, hey, participate in the process. Not that. No, they have to tell you go Democrat, 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 because you don't understand when you see them raging like Boulay Martin right now. He's raging on Twitter. He's raging at everybody right now. He was raging on me. I just saw he was raging on Boyce Watkins. He raging at Vicky Dillard. Anybody he could find, he's raging right now because he's worried because what they tell Boulay Martin and the rest of the gang here, you see like Al Sharpton, that look, if you get them Black people to the polls and keep us Democrats in office, we got some checks for you. We got some good government money for you. But if not, I can't do nothing for you. I can't give that to you. And so that's how they're controlled by the Democrat Party. And they say anything and everything to get you elected, to get them elected. OK, so right here with Al Sharpton, let's listen to what he just said that was so ridiculous, and how black American men should be just hella offended. I mean, we offended by his hair, but let's listen to this.
I literally have black men calling my radio show saying, well, we got enough black women in power. You know, Ketanji Brown Jackson's in the Supreme Court. We have Vice President Kamala Harris. I don't know if I want to vote for Stacey Abrams. Who?
Okay, let's stop right there. There's a deeper meaning to what they was actually, if they said that, but let's say what he's saying is verbatim correct. There's a deeper meaning to what those men are saying. The black community is a matriarchal society, and white supremacy has helped to make that happen. In our community, the women have been elevated in positions that black men have never attained. They make sure in corporations to give black women positions over black men. And they do this to mess up the social structure within the black community. It makes the women more masculine, because it's statistically proven that when women are more educated and make more money and have positions of power, they care less about family, child rearing, etc. And they literally morph into men. And you have men who are not walking in their natural role and their purpose of being providers. That's one major thing about a man, is being a provider. And these men aren't being respected in the black community due to this, right? But you look at other communities, the men are still running things. It's still a patriarchal society. So what you're having is a great, rebelling against the matriarchal system. And black men are saying, we got to set this thing back right and what worked, because prior to, the civil rights movement and all of that, we had a patriarchal society and it was fine. Yes, we had our problems with white supremacy, sure, but our family structure was intact. How is it that we had black families that had 10 children, 12 children? Nobody got divorced. There was no hot girl summer. It was no city girls. It was none of that mess. It was the man worked, took care of his family. The wife cooked, cleaned, helped rear the children. But today, that's not like that anymore. And then the two women that he's referring to, Ketanji Brown Jackson, you look at her record. She don't have a good record with black people. Well, you see, her husband, and, it makes you think. Then you look at Kamala. She don't have a good record with black people either. And you look at her husband. Okay. So to a lot of black men, they're not going to support those kind of women anyway because of that. Whether you know this or not, a lot of black men understand in a deep level that those group of men are black men's number one competitor and number one enemy. It's just bottom line. It's what they do. Is how they keep treating black. Who's the main person? Who's the main person that's the police that's killing black men? That the group of people that Kamala's married to and the rest of, you know what I'm saying? So they don't want to see that, for one. Two, they want to see more men. You haven't had a black man even be vice president yet. And we talking about a black man. We talking about from two black parents, came from the soil of America, can trace a lineage back to the 1870 census. We haven't seen that. Sure, we had two male Supreme Court justices, Thurgood Marshall and not Clarence Thomas. And there was many black American women who would be greatly qualified and hella respected, but that's not who they're going to choose, especially in the Democrat Party. So they say some of these men are saying they cool on that, and it goes back to all the things with the passport bros, and that's another conversation. It's just trying to set social order back. But outside of that, Stacey Abrams is not a good candidate. She's not. One minute she's telling black men that she can't just do something for black people because it's not enough of us to vote, and she got to pander to everybody. Then the next minute she says she's going to do something for black men. But then when you go through her agenda, it's black men, and then minorities and everybody. You understand what I'm saying? So black men have gotten hip to that. Black men are saying, no, if you're not going to prioritize black men or black people in particular, then we're just not going to support you. And understand, if you support black men, if you make sure black men are raised up and black men are in a position they need to be in, then it's going to affect the black children. It's going to affect the women or whatever women they married to. It's going to affect them. Okay. In every community, they make sure the men are gainfully employed. The men are doing what they need to do. The men are building. In this community, they want to raise up, the matriarchy. The reason why we aren't building anything is because when the matriarchies don't build, only patriarchies build. Single mothers don't build communities. Only men build communities. Understand? Men build roads. Men build bridges. Men maintain the plumbing, the electrical grid, the petrochemicals, your gasolines, your different oils. Men are the majority of your mechanics. Men are the majority of your first responders. That's what we have to say. So every society is like this. It's just a natural order of things. And then when women get in these positions, they can do it, but eventually they're not happy because there's not that stress that men have to take on, the world that men have to deal with. That's not for them like that. It's really not. So let's continue what Al Sharpton has to say here, which is more insulting to black men.
Who would not be proud of Stacey Abrams unless you're so insecure as a man?
So black men are insecure because they don't want to support Stacey Abrams. That's fine, Al. You can call black men insecure. But one thing these men don't want to do is vote for this woman because she offers nothing. She offers nothing. And of course, we're going to have, those that sit in the back of the class that's back there sniffing glue right now. Hello, people in the back of the class sniffing Elmer's glue. I'm talking to you. They're going to say the same talking point. I really believe that, and how they talked about the Russian bots, they're Democrat bots. They literally say the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like, if you question the Democrat Party, you must be a Republican. If you question the Democrat Party, or in my case, in many others' case, you're being paid. I keep telling y'all, could you call the Republican Party and tell them I need my check? Because I ain't got it yet. They haven't emailed me. They haven't called me on the phone. They haven't done nothing with me. So if y'all know of a check I'm supposed to be getting from the Republican Party, tell them to call me because I got people to pay and things like that I need to do. Since you claiming that they supposed to be sending me a check, right? And even if they were sending me a check, why you pocket watching? That's all you're good for, is pocket watching and not being productive in the community. So the other talking points they like to say is, well, what are Republicans going to do for you? And we say the same thing the Democrats are doing. Nothing. Not a thing. But at least when the Republicans don't do nothing for us, they don't do nothing for everybody. Everybody don't get nothing done. See how that works? With the Democrats, black people lose out. Everybody else get benefits. Even if they minimal benefits, they still get them. So I don't believe that black America should be giving our vote to a party that's going to take our vote and misuse us and make sure everybody else is good. Remember, your last vote in 2020, where did it go? It went to the Asian community. They got a whole hate crime bill. When you've been here for hundreds of years dealing with chattel slavery, dealing with the black codes, dealing with convict leasing, dealing with Jim Crow, the Klan, every redlining, crack epidemic, everything they can, stealing the millions and millions of acres of land from black American people, all the things that has happened to you. And another group got a hate crime bill on some uptick of hate crimes. You have been the leader as victims of hate crimes in every FBI statistic every year. And the 1 year that it raised up for one group, all of a sudden they got a hate crime bill. And do you know that same year that they said it was a rise in hate crimes on Asians, do you know that black people that year led as victims of hate crimes as usual? And yet we didn't get a bill. Notice every time we try to get something, they say black and whoever else. But when it was the Asians, they didn't say Asian and black. If you notice that, they give these groups something on their own. So a lot of black Americans are saying this: screw the Democrats, screw them, because you're not going to shame me. You're not going to voter shame me. You're not going to do anything. I'm getting reports from people, 2 different reports I'm getting from people right now out of Georgia. I'm not voting for Warnock and Abrams or Walker or Kemp. I'm just not participating in any of it. And I have been getting reports, actually more reports than what I thought. They have voted for Herschel Walker and they voted for Brian Kemp. I'm talking about black people, and even black women are doing this. Not just black men like they're expecting, but black women. You know why? Because black women seeing the okie doke too. Black women are sick and freaking tired of this party putting everything on their backs. They want their men to lead too. And they see the Democrat Party constantly undermine black men. They undermine them. And if men are undermined, how could the women sit back and just raise their kids, rest in their femininity and everything else that they need to do as women, right? They're seeing all that. They're seeing it. And they're tired of it too. They lied to black women. You're the backbone of the Democrat Party. Oh, you're the backbone. And they screw black women all the time. They don't help black women. Black women have a high mortality rate when it comes to pregnancy in the hospitals, even in blue states and blue cities. Black women are still suffering with the police. Black women are still discriminated against on jobs, but yet they're supposed to be the backbone of the Democrat Party. Black American women have seen the okie doke as well too, and they're tired of y'all behind. We're sick of the performative crap. Just recently, the other day, Stacey Abrams was cutting a jig with Lotto on stage in Atlanta. When she go talk to everybody else, she don't go cut a jig with no music artists, but with black people, you know, they act like we're little, you know, circus animals. And all you got to do is dance in front of them, and we get excited by that. Or you could talk about, you know, how you like hot sauce and how you like Kool-Aid and everything else. And black people are like, oh, yeah, let me go vote for you. This group of generation of black people are waking up. And Al Sharpton, I'm just being 100. You need to go sit down, bro. Go sit down somewhere. Nobody listening to you no more. You're not relevant to anything. You're not effective on anything you're doing. You don't have the respect of the younger people. And it's not because of your age, brother. No, it's not that. What it is that you have sold out. You have sold out to the Democrat Party. I knew you sold out when you took the MSNBC job. I say, how is it that you're supposed to be a civil rights leader doing an MSNBC job? Because that's just straight. You have to read a teleprompter. That's propaganda. What are you doing? You know what I'm saying? But he just like, I'm done. I'm just gonna get the bag and move on. I'm gonna be a Democrat shield, and that's it. And then also, I need to look into Black Voters Matter, because where are they getting their funding from? Because it's amazing how Black Voters Matter and all that, when they do come to people's house, they talk about Democrat. They're not just saying, let's get black people registered to vote. And I'm cool with that. But all this Democrat stuff coming from Black Voters Matter, and if they have visited your home, let me know what they said to you in the comment section if they came to your house talking about voting. Because I want to know where their funding comes from. I need to research that, because, you know, you follow the money, you find out a whole lot of things. But no, Al, it's a different day, Al. It's a different day. You can't shame us no more. We vote for whoever we want to vote for. So if a black man wants to vote for Governor Kemp and a black man wants to vote for Herschel Walker, he gonna do it and can care less. And y'all can twist, turn, get mad, say all kind of crap. You know, the excuses the Democrat Party is giving when you ask them about inflation. Well, it's the CEOs. They having record profits. It's like, and all y'all saying the same thing. We're asking you, what are you going to do about it? Telling us record profits don't mean anything. What you going to do? Lock the CEOs up in jail? I mean, because something they doing to the economy. I mean, if you're not locking somebody up in jail for what they're doing, doing something perfectly legal. What do you could mention the CEOs for? You're the president. Y'all in Congress. Y'all figure it out. But yeah, the days of trying to shame black men, those days are over. So y'all just need to go ahead and cut that out. Because like I said, and I'm going to say this again, if Herschel Walker, especially Herschel Walker, because I mean, Stacey Abrams ain't going to win, so I'm not even tripping on that. But if Herschel Walker win, I'm telling y'all, I'm going to act a straight fool. I'm going to clown. Oh, I'm looking for, please Herschel Walker win. Please he win. I want him to win so bad because I want to laugh at them Democrats. I want to laugh because they were serving right. And they say they had a record turnout so far in Georgia for election. Usually this record turnout, that don't look too good for Democrats. Because a lot of them Republicans right now galvanized too. Because they sick of the economy and they sick of the situation with the food and the gas and inflation and all that. So the days of shaming black men are over, Al. You might as well stop. But thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the podcast. Greatly appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way, we post another podcast. Click the like button. That's very, very important. We also appreciate anybody that's, sends a super thanks or anyone who sends a super chat. We greatly appreciate that. If you're listening on Spotify and other platforms, we would thank you for, coming and by and listening to our platform. Make sure you check out all the previous podcasts that we have on Spotify. So thank you for listening. We'll see you on the next one.